Okay, Ken, the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to wind a bobbin, just in case you don't have one that has any thread on it. So if you were to put a spool of thread, I'd just put a bobbin there. Put a spool of thread back there, and you see this little button here? You're going to go around it clockwise. Like so. Hook it in there clockwise. Come over to the bobbin. And you want to put the string in one of the holes. Now this is going to be a feat to do it with one hand. Oh. I'm going to have to pause it. Okay. So I got it through one of the holes. Make sure it's seated all the way down. And then you push this towards the bobbin. And you step on the gas. Enough until it winds. About 2 times around. Then you're going to trim that tail. And you want to keep on going. And sometimes you have to help guide the thread. It doesn't always go on like it's supposed to. Making all that noise because I'm going from a metal bobbin to another metal bobbin, so excuse the noise. I always try helping the bobbin along because you should have a nicely formed bobbin, and you don't always get that. So I'm just going to use the bobbin as the thread again. And now I'm going to show you how to thread the machine. So you bring the thread through this and under. Oh, let me get up. Okay. Comes from the spool and it goes under this metal keeper here. That guides it, and then you want it to go straight down through that crevice there. And when you're threading, you want the presser foot to be up always. Okay, so now bring it down and then up and bring it straight back to that area and forward. Actually, it's not the greatest design, Bernina, but what you do is you bring it along this metal area and straight back and then forward, and then it will hook on that take-up lever. That's where you want it to be. Sometimes it'll want to hook back behind this metal piece, and that's not good. You want it to be free-flowing through that take-up lever. Then straight down behind I guess it's a protector of some sort. Thread protector. Straight down. And you see this bar. Thread it through that bar like so. It goes from right to left. And then right at the needle there's this little hook here. You want to hook it behind that and then move it towards the right, and you'll see it went into that center area so that it can come free flowing down, and then you thread the needle from front to back. I'm going to pause it. One little trick I have is that if you notice, like this, it's harder to see the hole for the needle, but with this white background you can see the hole better. So I generally put the foot down. So front to back. I'm going to have to switch hands and pull it through. Now if you just wound that bobbin, you need to put in a bobbin. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to take this bobbin out, and so if you have no bobbin in there, I'm going to set this camera down so that I can use two hands. Okay, so now you have your bobbin in your right hand, and you want the thread to go over the bobbin away from you. And it's on the top going away from you. Have the bobbin case in your left hand so that you see this little crack here? That's where the thread's going to go in. So put this together like so, and then grab the thread, put it into that little crevice there. Move your hands around. And what I do is I kind of hold the bobbin so that it doesn't move too much, but it gives it enough play to be able to pull the thread until it clicks. So now it's clicked and it's free flowing in that bobbin area, you see? Because this is the bobbin tension spring, this metal piece there. And so if you pull on the bobbin, what you're going to see is the bobbin, you see the holes are going in a clockwise fashion. That's how you know it's threaded right. Now the bobbin has this arm, and that arm has to be at 12 o'clock. And this lever is what holds, when you have the lever out like that, it holds the bobbin so it won't fall out. Okay? And so you've got that lever, have it in your hand like this with the finger at 12 o'clock. And it goes straight in onto, there's like a little pole sticking out. And so then what you do is you kind of fish it around and push at the same time. Now I'm going to stop talking, you're going to hear a click. That's how you know it's in. When you pull on the thread, that bobbin does not move. The bobbin case, I should say. The bobbin itself moves because I'm unthreading it, but it's going to stay there. Now, next thing we need to do is pull the thread up to the top. So you want to lift up the presser foot, and you want to hold with one hand the thread in the left hand, and then in the right I'm going to rotate the wheel, the balance wheel, and it's going to go and it's going to catch that thread, and you see that thread's coming up now. That's the bobbin. Pull on it on the top thread, and the bobbin thread will come all the way out. So now I have two threads out of the machine, and I want them in the back. Okay? So at this point you can close your bobbin case. That bobbin, oops, sorry, it dropped. That bobbin's good. Shut the accessory door. And now you want to have a little piece of fabric. And this is what you're going to do with each and every one of those machines. Oops. I dropped the fabric. Okay, so you're going to want to put the fabric under the presser foot, put the presser foot down, and you're ready to sew. So come over to here and make sure number 1 is showing in the window. And what I was telling you earlier is, see the flashing? It flashes at 2. That's what the normal stitch default length is. It's at 0 for width, so it's going to be in a straight line. So this is the first stitch you're going to want to try. So you step on the foot pedal and let it sew. Okay, and so now when I turn it around, I can see what the stitches look like, and they are perfect. To lengthen the stitch and make sure that you see this, that means going to a bigger stitch. This is, and you'll see on the screen, this is going up. So let's look at 4 or 5.5, either one. If you want to put the needle down without having to touch you can actually press the presser foot on the back side, you know, with your heel, and that'll put the needle down. And so let's look at it. Of course, it goes a lot faster since the threads, the stitch length is longer. It doesn't take as long. And look at those stitches. That's what they need to look like. When you look at the bottom, they look the same. Okay? Now, if it does that for you, that's a really good sign that it's going to stitch. Now let's try the zipper or the zigzag. I'm going to move it to another area. Turn it around again. And now I go up to here, and zigzag is number 2. So push the number 2, the 2 comes up, it goes down to about a 1.5 by a 3 width. And so just leave it there at the standard default numbers. And then push on the gas and pray. Now you see the needles going back and forth, back and forth. Now what was the problem with this machine before is that when I would look at the stitch, it would just look like this, and then if I pulled on the material, it would unsew because there was no bobbin being picked up at all. Now that's a good thing. If it's not going to work, that was the best case scenario, honestly. Now you can see a beautiful zigzag stitch. Perfect. And the bottom is perfect as well. So if it does those 2 stitches, it's going to do the rest. You know, if you wanted to test the rest, you can, but I don't think it's necessary. Maybe if you wanted to try one more stitch, you could do this, which is an overlock stitch. I'll just move it so it's going in a different direction and kind of steer the material. Now it has it at a pretty short stitch length, so that's why it took a while. But they're beautiful. Perfect stitches. So that's basically all you need to do to test it. And then I would leave the fabric, if it works, leave the fabric in the machine just like that, put the presser foot down and ship it that way. because then you have proven before shipping that it does sew. Now, if it doesn't sew, then call me and we'll talk about what did it do or not do. And whether if you get thread on the top, bunched up like a bird's nest, that means something's going wrong with the bobbin. If you get the bird's nest underneath, it means something's going wrong with your tension on top. So, you know, like I said, give me a call at that point, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. Okay, well, this is a long video. It's 15 minutes, so it's going to take me a while to get it loaded up. And I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow if you need me. Thanks, Ken. Bye.